Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I am your guide, Elpy, and this is mixed worm bin number 3. Today is the 12th of January 2025, and it has been 6 days since the last check-in as part of the Time for Pie series. So this will be post-pie day 15, no, day 21, sorry, day 15 was last time, day 21 of the Time for Pie check-ins. Like I said, this is mixed worm bin number 3. Last time they received their first bubble mailer cut open and laid on top. There's nobody there, which does not, but there is someone hanging out underneath it. Didn't surprise me because I had this, it was mainly all dry blanket of torn up paper, because if you know, then this is just a reminder. If you don't know, then now you will know. This has been sort of a problematic bin for me. It's one of 2 bins that experienced a mass die-off early in 2024. I wasn't really actively paying attention to my bins then, so I don't know what happened. Both bins are recovering. This one's taken a little bit longer, in part because I've gone a little bit crazy on the watering, and I don't know exactly why it's taken a little bit longer, but I do know that there have been times that I've kind of been overwatering. And also bin 4, which is the other bin that experienced the die-off, they had a massive feeding this summer that I thought was it late summer? Late summer, maybe even fall, that I thought was possibly problematic because of the size of the population, but the population kind of exploded after that. So I had these moisture issues in here because I dumped a bunch of water because I thought the bin was kind of on the dry side, and I went way overboard. So for the last couple of months, I've been adding dry paper and cardboard to various spots in the bin, and then I hadn't been putting a blanket over top, and then I decided to put dry paper as a blanket. Well, the last couple of check-ins, what I found is that the bin is looking good, and I'm no longer concerned. So this is the feeding zone from December 9th, 2024. We've been checking in here because in all the bins, there continued to be a decent population in the feeding zone because there was lots of food remnants. This was a whole rotten melon, or mango, sorry. You see a couple of worms in here. There were worms. There's a baby worm. And there's a cocoon. Oop, wrong way. In fact, there's a cocoon. There's another cocoon. I do believe the darker cocoon, where'd it go? The darker cocoon is older than the lighter colored cocoon. Last time, this is the bin actually, I believe that last time on the 6th of January, I found a nearly white, like whitish translucent, no, not white cocoon. It's pretty wild. And I think that signifies that it was recently laid. So we're not seeing, there's a couple of worms here, but nothing special. So I'm going to make this, and then reminding myself of this as well. I need to make this relatively quick, faster than I might otherwise, because I am sick. I'd hoped to get in here sooner. Didn't really start getting sick till yesterday, but so the plans that I had talked about last time for each bin, what I wanted to do this time, are going to be delayed. I'm not going to be doing any of those things. Okay, so not till next time. This is the feeding zone. We had put the food. I had put a fruit box in here. The Time for Pie feeding started on the 22nd, and it was at least a week or 2 prior to that I'd put this fruit box in here. So it had already been absorbing moisture by the time I added the pie to it. And last time I checked in, there's another cocoon. I disturbed all the bins. It was quite disruptive. I pulled up. Okay, so we still have a decent amount of pie in this bin. It was kind of right here upside down. So there are some worms around it, but not like the other bigger populations. So I disturbed the feeding zones far more than I had been. So this one, I pulled the box all the way up and tore it up real nice. And there's some worms hanging out. Other than the pie, I see some pepper residue of residual peppers and a decent amount of worms. This bin, and the moisture is fine. I do believe I said I was going to feed this bin this week, and sorry for the breathing, my sinuses have started. Haven't had too much trouble with that. Actually, I wasn't gonna feed them because, like I told you, I'm not feeling well, but I really wanted to get these check-ins recorded last night, but I ran out of time, so I really can't not. I don't. It's already been 6 days. I wanted to do 4, 5 at most, but I have an idea. While this bin can handle a larger feeding than this, I'm not going to. This is a very rotten apple, pear, and a starting to mold onion. It's actually still fairly intact. It came from that food donation. And in part, I remembered those onions. I had these onions, and I was in AJ's Green Topics. Go check him out. Great worm farmer. He was doing a live today. He's going to try to do them at least monthly. There's a cocoon down there. And someone in the chat was trying to adjust the zoom, and apparently I didn't do it right because I hit the stop button to the record. Okay, so someone in the chat asked about feeding onions. As they said, theirs worms didn't eat onions, and I've always fed onions and onion pieces to my worms, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Let's put the onion on bottom, and we'll put some more paper, a little bit from the blanket, and we'll put the apple and the pear. That's all ready. All right, so we did feed bin number 3 today after all. 21 days since the time for pie feeding. They still have food, or they still have pie and some pepper residue or residual peppers from the time for pie feeding. Check back in 3 to 4 days. That onion's going to take a long time to break down. It might even sprout, but once it starts to break down, the worms will be all over it. All right, so looked good. No moisture issues there for me. I think they're doing great. Let's go ahead and put this back on top. And this other, the original blanket. Thank you so much for your time and your interest. Be sure to check out the last check-ins, which was day 15 since post-pie day 15 or post-pie 15 day check-in. This is the 21-day check-in. If you watch only one of the previous set of videos, check out bin number 2 for sure. That's very exciting. But all the others have their own little excitements or exciting points. If you've been affected by the fire or the fires in California, or if anyone you know, I pray for you. I pray for your family and your friends, and I pray that you have the support and the love and the care that you need, and I pray that you're safe. So thank you so much for your time and your interest. Be safe. Be well. Bye for now.